So big problem every time I go out in this in the morning. I've got to wait 10 minutes to get it warmed up. So there you go. Video the other day, yesterday, whenever it was, 15.2 miles to the gallon on average. So let's get that reset. Let's see if I can do this, because I have no idea. Because when you go in that the sort of like the infotainment system, whatever it's called, it's just crazy. There's so much stuff. This is a dead basic layout and I still can't work out how to. Right, so there you go. I'm going to work out how many miles to the gallon I get on the way to work and back, and it should be about 13 like I said in the one yesterday. So we've got about 10 minutes for that to get up to temperature, because I'm not driving it slow to work. It's the only time I get to actually go fast in it, so probably not going to have enough fuel. So I'll get some fuel on the way back, get that one out of the way. Now the reason that one's there is just to block this one in, because there's a little bit of added security. Someone tries to steal the car, because these keys, because they're keyless entry, I presume they can sort of like clone the key or do something technical with it. Problem when two people drive cars, seats are never in the right places. So like I was saying, this one, I mean, look at that. I wish this interior was in the Nissan, because this is just so nice. Got a rear view, front and rear view cameras there, and yeah, it's got a virtual cockpit there, which goes onto, there you go, goes onto a satellite view. Amazing. So you're gonna get this in an RS6, but obviously Nissan stuff, pretty basic, but it is only a 2 litre TDI, so 190 horsepower, diesel. It is comfortable, it's got a bit of kick in it, you know. If it'll go if you want it to, if you put it in sport, but you know, it's not got a patch on the GTR. So that's why, you know, I did look at, when I did that video on the RS6, I thought, you know, this kind of interior in the RS6 performance, amazing car. Seats are dead nice, just comfortable in general. But like I was saying in the video yesterday, this has lost as much, in fact this has lost more percentage than the Nissan has in 12 months, because we got this exactly the same time last year, and this is tanked out by the best part of 17 grand, something like that. So paid 50 for it. It's now worth, on a trade-in, because my wife wants to change it for an RS Q3, which I'm all for, obviously. 2.5 litre 5-pot, 400 horsepower, 480 newton meters of torque. Amazing little sort of like hot SUV hatch type thing. You know, I won't get fed up of driving that, but we're going to lose so much money on this. It's just, I can't, you know, I just can't draw myself to actually trade this in. Keep it for another year, then maybe down the line, unless the dealer does us a great deal on the trade-in, which I can't see really. So this one is out of the way. So just got to wait for it to warm up now. Probably got another 5 or 10 minutes maybe to get that oil temp and the tranny temp up to, you know, into the 60s, 70s. Shouldn't take too long today. It's absolutely blisteringly hot, which is very unusual for the UK. But it is June, so I suppose we've got to get the suntan. So got all this space free, and it's just begging to be for a couple more cars to put in really. I mean, look at all that. You know, you get one there, one here, one there, another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more cars easily in here. So I think the first one that I'm going to go for is another Nissan, and it's not going to be a GTR. It's not even going to be a GTR in any format. R32, 33, 34, none of them. I'm looking for an S15, which is the Sylvia, the Type R, oh sorry, not the Type R, that's Honda, Spec R. So all I want is a 10 grand, something basic. I don't want anything modified, because I want to do some of the modifications here on the driveway. So I've been looking now for probably over a year, to be honest, because I'm still getting reminder quotes from when I did insurance quotes last year. So I know it's been over a year and I just can't seem to find one. So probably seen 3 now in 12 months First one I wasn't too keen on because it might have had an engine issue and the guy wasn't too certain, and I have no idea with cars, so, well, I've got ideas but nothing mechanical, so I'd have to take it into the garage, and it was miles away, so I thought I'd leave that one. Second one, I can't remember what happened with that. Maybe I just missed out on it. I was being a bit tight with the money because my budget's about 10 grand and I don't want anything modified, because if you go on eBay, there's two on there right now for £25,000 for an S15. I mean, to me that's just ludicrous. I mean, I don't know how they can charge. I know they've spent probably 40 grand on these cars, but everyone knows when you modify a car you don't get the money back. I just want a basic one, 100,000 miles with no modifications, or very small modifications anyway, and I want to spend 10 grand, 9.5, 10 for a tatty one, and that I can stick it there then, and I can just work on it over the next few months and maybe into the winter, get it ready for drifting, and you know, get the two Nissans there then, so there'll be GTR with a S50, and I've still got loads of space, and I can get the Cube 5 in there, block them all in, so security wise all will be well. So if anyone knows where there's an S15 going, what spec R, I'd do a spec S if I was absolutely pushed into it, but it'd have to be one that had been converted to turbo, so because I want the 300-ish, 350 horsepower, 400 maybe down the line, because when I went out in Jordan's next door, his 350Z, that's running about 280 horsepower, and I think that is perfect, but maybe a little bit more won't go amiss. There's no need to get 600 horsepower, 570 in a drift car, because it's just going to be wasted. If anything, it's just going to be too much power for a small drift track really, so 300 is plenty, because when I've tried to drift this all-wheel drifting, it's crazy, it's so powerful, it just kicks your ass at the first opportunity really, especially in the wet. So that's me waffling on about the S15. This is definitely up to speed now with the temperature, so let's go and get to work. Right, so I hope this POV angle's okay for you guys. Right, so we're up to temp now, 75, 65, that's good to go. Stick it in manual, and let's listen to start off with the clicking, if the clicking's back, or still even, there it is. Just hear it a little bit. My wife's been in the car again, moving the mirrors. It's back to normal. So 5 minute drive to work. So there you see it. 11.8 miles to the gallon. That's doing a run to work and back. I drove it quite hard in places, so I think 13, like I was saying in the previous video, is about the right figure, because I don't drive it that hard. You know, I don't drive it like this all the time. You know, I'm not going to drive it like that all the time. And to be honest, it's not even changed anyway, 11.8 still. So, I think if you're going to own a GTR, 13 miles to the gallon, if you're getting that, you'd probably driving it, well, it's just dropped down to 11 now, but you're probably driving it about right if you're getting 13 miles to the gallon out. as you can hear there, coming onto the drive, still got that clicking. Still making that horrible clicking noise, so back in the garage soon for the 4th time. That'll be the next video. See if we can get it fixed. But getting a little knock as well from the front now. You can hear that. Sounds like it's coming from, sounds engine. Let's have a pop the bonnet. So I've never actually had the bonnet up, but 3,000 miles, still in absolutely pristine condition. Not a mark on it, no dust, no dirt. Super clean, which it still should be actually, after only 3,000 miles. Starting to get a few little ticky tapping noises now, which is, I suppose that's normal. I can hear it coming from in this area, not being a mechanic, but I don't think it had that when it was new. But maybe a service will fix a few things, and maybe it won't actually, probably needs an oil change already. So it's probably rare that you're going to see a completely standard GTR engine. Usually they've got a couple of huge turbos on them, or they're stock, nothing's been done to it, and built by that guy who builds them all. I can't even pronounce his name, but he does them all, I think. So we're going to have a quick look on eBay and see if there's any today. Literally checking every single day at the moment and nothing's coming up. So there's still, doesn't seem, it's just these buying. There's that one which is, that's been on for absolute, that's been on since as long as I've been looking anyway. So, and then another one to buy, and then there's the same one again. And then that's not even an S15. That's, I mean, look at that. That's a 25,000 for that. I mean, it's nice and everything, but 25 grand, that's ridiculous. I don't want to spend that much. And then convertible. And then that one is, that's the one that I could get for 15,000 something, 2 grand off he's doing. When I spoke to him on eBay, but it's too low mileage. It's only done 34,000 miles, so you know it's too good really. Then I actually went to an S14, so I made an offer on that of 7,000 the other day, but it was declined. Real nice car, loads of stuff done to it, but I don't really want to drop back to a car that I don't want. I want to actually get the car that I want, which is an S15. I don't want an S14. It's a nice car, but I don't want to. And just scrolling through now, that is it. That is it for eBay. There's no other cars available. So looked on Facebook this morning, nothing on there, so I'm gonna have to keep looking. In the meantime, Jordan next door, he picked up that 350Z last week. I'll just go out with him and have some fun as a passenger rather than a driver. So thanks for the likes, comments, subscribers as normal. Nearly on 200 now, nearly. 197, so 3 off. So hopefully I can get up to 200 before the next video. One thing this car doesn't do, after me finding out today, after a year of owning it, is normally you lock the door and then hold your finger on it and the window goes up. I'm holding it and holding it and it's not going up. So put it on the old fashioned way.